Hey, welcome guys. Tony Porter, Tabletop Baseball Digest, and here we are once again with my 5-team 1974 replay using Fall Classic Baseball. This is one of the hottest games on the market at the moment. For some reason, it's been rediscovered, and that's really exciting. So let's get into some action so you get a feel for how it rolls, how it plays. One of the 5 teams is, of course, my beloved Mets, and it will be Jon Matlack on the mound against Clay Kirby of the Cincinnati Reds. You will see that all-star lineup of the Cincinnati Reds playing in 1974. Let's do it. Let's get started. This morning before work, I played a game. It was a 3-1 game. I played it in 17 minutes. I had plenty of time to get ready, get dressed, get washed, and take a shower, and get outside before I got picked up. Let's do this. All right, we're going to roll 2d6, and we're going to read it as you would APA, right? 1 the blue, and then the white. So a 1 and a 4 is read as a 14. Then you're going to roll that d20 like in Stratomatic, and that will be our modifier die or our informational die, which it'll tell us who the ball went to. I have it memorized. It's pretty simple. I have no great memory, but I played it enough, and I will not steer you wrong. If you know me, I usually tell it like it is. And that is, not everybody welcomes that, but that's fine by me. At least I know that my conscience is clear. Play ball, that is Pete Rose, batting from the right side against Matlack, but we did not roll for Matlack's stuff. So let's use whatever we rolled. It's a 3. He will be an A. When we roll the next roll, we will use it for the next pitcher. Oh, and what did I get there? It was ball 4. I am using Replay Baseball to keep the stats and to keep me focused and honest and guided. And it is Joe Morgan. So base on balls for Morgan. What we roll here, an 11, that is going to be a righty. So he will be a B stuff. Clay Kirby will be a B, and it's Joe Morgan with a 12, and that is ball 4 again. So back-to-back walks. This is the big red machine. And here he is, Johnny Bench. Oh boy, and he's got some kind of bat. He's got some kind of power. And Jon Matlack will get the sign from Grody, and here's the pitch to Bench. And a 31, that's going to be a range play, but that's going to drop in at that high number, 19. It's going to be behind third base, and is anybody going to get there? No, and that's going to be a single. And everybody's going to hold up. It looked like Martinez, a shortstop, who was cutting out there in front of Garrett, was going to make a fantastic catch at the last minute. Jones was nowhere near that, coming hard as well. So they avoided a collision, and the bases are loaded against Matlack here in the first. Now, Matlack has had an outstanding season so far with a 1.72 ERA in 10 games started. He's got almost 80 innings pitched. He has a 6-3 record. The Mets are not doing bad this season. They are 1 game over 500, and the Reds are only 6 games over 500. So the Mets are, hanging in there in 1974. So here is Tony Perez. Yes, sirree, Tony Perez. And the pitch from Matlack, and that's going to be a 45, which will be an out. What kind of an out? Oh, it's to the first baseman. A 3, and a 3 says that it's an S-arm first baseman. So if he's a top-quality first baseman with a lot of DPs, Milner at first will not get the double play. He gets the ball, goes to second for 1, not in time back to first. So it's a 3-6 fielder's choice, and a run will come in. Next up is Concepcion with first and third. Concepcion is not a good hit and run guy, so we're not going to hit and run with him. Here's the pitch. And a 34, and a 34 will be a fly ball to right field. And tagging up is Morgan Staub. Backing up, and here comes the throw, and it's cut off. It's a sacrifice fly. The Reds lead it 2-0. Next is Merv Rettenmund. Rettenmund did not have a good season in 74, batted only .216 in 200 at-bats. He played in half the games, 80, and had 6 home runs, so he has a little bit of power. And he's got a runner at first with 2 outs, and Perez not a threat to steal. And here's the pitch from Matlack. It is a 12, which is a fly ball center field. Backing up is Schneck in center, and he grabs it for out number 3. So the Reds pick up a couple of runs on a hit, and here comes the Mets. And it's going to be Wayne Garrett leading off, the star third baseman for the New York Mets, against Clay Kirby. Here's the pitch, and that is a 33. That is ball 4. So he takes his base on balls and scoots on over to first base and takes his lead. Here is Felix Millan, who's a good bunter and a good hit and run guy. And we're going to start early with the bunts. We're going to try it. He squares, and that's a 6. That's 2 strikes on the batter. Oh, boy. So now Millan loses 2 points on his sacrifice hit. He comes down to a 3, so we're probably going to swing away. And we do, and that's a 24, and that's a hit by pitch. He got hit quite frequently because he got a 10 on there. I rolled a 7. It's a -2 because of the pitcher. And it's still a 7, still qualifies. He gets plunked and heads on to first base. So Mets here with nobody out, have runners on first and second. And here he is, Cleon Jones. Yes, sirree, Cleon Jones, who batted .282 with 13 home runs and 460 at-bats in 1974. Let's see what happens. Kirby gets the sign from bench. And here's the pitch and the swing. And that is a ground ball. No, fly ball, center field. And Foster, now Garrett, may be able to tag up if he's fast. He is slow, so he will not tag up. That's 1 away. Jones heads back to the bench, and here's Rusty Stahl, the always dangerous Le Grand Orange. Yes, sirree. And he is ready to roll. At the plate, bats from the left side. Kirby gets the sign from bench and the pitch. And that is a 43, which is a ground ball to short. And if Morgan's arm is an S, if he has a strong arm, they will turn a double play, and Morgan does not. So it's going to be a fielder's choice, a 6-4 fielder's choice to throw to first, not in time. It pulls Perez off the bag, so the Mets with 2 outs here have runners on first and third, and the always dangerous The Hammer. John Milner, lefty batter, first baseman for the Mets, comes to the plate with 2 men on. Let's see if he can make Kirby pay. Here is the pitch, and that is a 62. A swing and a miss, struck him out, and the Mets leave a couple. We go to the top of the second. George Foster leads off. John Matlack with the pitch. 36, and that will be a bouncer to second base. Millan throws him out. Next up is Andy Cosco. Did not play a lot at 74th, only 37 at-bats. Mostly used as a pinch hitter. He does start in this game. I'm using actual lineups. Just makes my life a lot easier, and I'm just here for the fun. It doesn't. I don't have to prove to myself or anybody else that I'm a great manager. I'm just not accepted. Andy Cosco against John Matlack. And the pitch, and that is a 46. That is going to be ballpark. We have to pull the Mets stadium card. Where is that? Here it is, a 46 with a 15. And that is a foul ball in play. He's a righty, the first baseman, Milner, get to it near the stands. He reaches in and, oh, what a catch! Oh my goodness! John Milner flashing the letter. Yes, he is. It's a pop-up to the first baseman, John the Hammer Milner, who not only can hit, but he can field. Here is Kirby, the pitcher. We don't expect much from him, except the strikeout. Let's see what happens here. And the pitch from Matlack. 16 struck him out. Matlack with the fastball blows it by. Kirby for the 3rd out of the inning. All right, here comes Dave Schneck. The Schnecka. 36, and that will be a tapper right back to Kirby. Over to first, 1 away. Jerry Grody next. And the pitch, it's a 55. That is line base hit to center field. George Foster plays it on a hop, and Grody is on at first. He is slow, so he will not be going very far. We'll see what happens with one out. Grote's on at first. It is Ted Martinez, the utility player for the Mets who can play infield and outfield. Here's the pitch from Kirby, and that's a 64, which will be a ground ball to the third baseman. Costco goes to second for one, back to first. Double play around the horn. 5, 4, 3, blast off. And that ends the inning for the Mets. We go to the top of the third. Pete Rose. Yes, sirree. Charlie Hustle. Yes, sirree. He is at the plate, batting from the right side against Jon Matlack. Here's a pitch. And that's a 25, and that'll be a fly ball in the gap. On the run is Jones, and he gets to it. Good boy. And that is Cleon Jones with an amazing play in left field. Yes, sirree. Left field. Let's move on here. Joe Morgan is up. The pitch. And that's a 45. And that will be a fly ball. Center field. Schneck comes in a couple of steps and he makes the catch. Next up, Johnny Bench. Yes, sirree. John Bench at the plate. 2 outs. Nobody on. The pitch from Matlack. And that's a 26 against the lefty. That's a ground ball and through the infield into left field. Picked up by Jones. Gets it into the shortstop Martinez. And Bench is on at first. Here's Tony Perez. Good power. Hit 28 home runs in 1974 with a 265 batting average and 101 RBI. Here is the pitch from Matlack. And that is a 42, which will be a bouncer to third base. Garrett will go to second for the force, and that ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the third. Johnny Matlack. Pitch from Kirby. And that's a 31. That's going to be a range play. I add a little bit of defense to that. A range plays first baseman. Perez. Will Perez be able to get that ball? It's a hard hit ball down the line. And Perez is there. What a play. And he flips to the pitcher covering. So Tony Perez comes up big on a hard hit ball by the pitcher, Matlack. Here is Wayne Garrett, third baseman. And that's a 13, which will be a pop fly, center field. And under it is George Foster. In the outfield, it's Rose from left to right. It's Rose, Foster, and Redmond. In the infield, from third to first, is Costco, Concepcion, Morgan, and Perez. Behind the plate is Bench. On the mound is Kirby. Here's Felix Millan. Millan on the season, he's batting .255. Here's the pitch. With a 15, and that'll be a ground ball to the shortstop. Concepcion scoops it up and releases to first for the third out, top of the fourth. Concepcion leads off the pitch, and that's a 53. That is a Ranger. A range play. We will roll to see, and that's a 6. And the right fielder, Staub. I do not think Staub is going to get that. No, he does not reach it. It drops in front of him. He's only a 4. So that drops for a base hit in right field. And the lead hitter is on. The lead batter is on for the Reds. Here's Redmond. Redmond, a good bunter, and he will square. And that is a 2. It's in front of the plate, and there's only one play. Grote pounces on it, fires the first in time. So it's a sacrifice hit for Redmond. Good bunter. He's out of 5 there. And here is George Foster. Foster at the plate. And Foster batted .264 with 7 home runs. Only appeared in 276 appearances at the plate. He had 73 hits with 18 doubles and 7 home runs. Here's the pitch. And that is a 25 against the lefty. That's the line. Base hit. And the run should come in, and it does not with 1 out. They will hold up Concepcion at third. So Foster bangs one to wherever it was, and that's a base hit. Runs on first and third, and here's Costco. And the pitch from Matlack with a 43, and that will be a ground ball to short. To second for 1, back to first. Double play, and the Mets get out of it with their defense. Yes, sir. We go to the bottom of the fourth. In the bottom of the fourth, the Reds lead it 2-0. It's 2-4-0. And for New York, it's 0-1-0. It is Cleon Jones against Clay Kirby. And the pitch, and that is a 14, which will be a hard hit ball to center field. And Foster is right there to snag it. One away. Next up, it's Rusty Staub, Legrand Orange. The pitch from Kirby at 23 will be a ground ball to the first baseman. He will flip to the pitcher covering in time to get Legrand Orange. The hammer, John Milner, steps in the box. He bats from the left side. Kirby, the pitch, and it's a 62. Struck him out, and that ends the inning. We go to the top of the fifth. The pitcher, Clay Kirby, against John Matlack. Matlack on the season, 282 innings pitched, 185 ERA, a 6-3 record with an 0.92 whip. Here is the pitch, and that is a 65. That'll be a fly ball, shallow, racing in is Schneck, and he gets there. What a play by Schneck. Read that well off the bat, and it's not easy to read those balls that are hit to center field. Next is Pete Rose. And the pitch by John Matlack, a 35. And that is bounced to short. Charging is Martinez, barehanded, fires to first in the dirt, but scooped out by Milner. What a play by the hammer. 6-3, 2 away. And next up is Morgan. The pitch, a 62. Struck him out. That is the third out of the inning, and we move to the bottom of the fifth. Oh my goodness. Matlack reached back for a little extra on that one. Let's start off with Dave Schneck here for the Mets. See if the Mets can muster a little offense. We don't know, but we're hoping. Clay Kirby on the mound for the Reds, and the pitch. And that is a 33, which under Schneck, who doesn't hit a lick, is bounced to short. Concepcion with the easy play to first. Jerry Grody. The pitch to Grody with a 63, and that will be a strike 3, and he got him. The curveball got Grody out in front, and here's Ted Martinez. He does a little bit of everything. In this case, he will pop it up to the right side. Retman and Morgan and Perez. Will they collide? No! It is Retman who comes up with it and avoids. He called it in time, and everybody got out of his way. We go to the top of the sixth. 2-0 Reds. Leading off is Johnny Bench. Yes, sirree. The superstar catcher for the Cincinnati Reds. And Matlack gets the sign from Grody. And he's ready with the pitch. And that's a snake eyes. That will be ball 4. He walks. Bench, he pitched him very, very carefully, trying to hit those corners, but did not get the call. So he's mumbling to himself, not happy with that last call. And looks like Grody's going to go out and calm him down. It's a leadoff walk to Bench here in the top of the sixth with Tony Perez up next. John Matlack is ready now. He gets the sign, looks over at Bench, who's not going anywhere. And the pitch to Perez, and that's going to be a 41. That will be ball 4. Back-to-back walks allowed by Matlack. That puts runners on first and second, and up comes Concepcion, who is a good bunter. He squares and depends. That goes to the pitcher. If Matlack has a strong arm, he does not. So that is going to be a good bunt to the pitcher. There's only one play, and that's the first. Both runners will advance. They have 2 men in scoring positions. And now, Retman is not a great hitter, too. So we're going to pitch to Retman. We're going to bring the infield in on this, something I don't like to do. It's dangerous to do. Here's the pitch. And that is a 35. A 35 will be a ground ball to the third baseman. This is trouble because a 1, 2, 3, it's a hit. 2 runs come in, a 4, 5, and 6, and they hold. And that is a hole. They got lucky on that one. Ground ball to third. He looks the runner back to third, and the throw to first in time. 2 outs now. They can play at regular depth. We got lucky on that roll. Almost by the third baseman, Garrett, but he can pick him at third. And here is George Foster. The pitch. And that is a 56, strike 3, and he retires Foster on strikes to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Next up is Matlack. The pitch leading off is Matlack, and that's going to be a little blooper. Will anybody get to it? The center fielder, if he's at least a 14, he will get to it. We're looking at Foster. Is he a 14? And he is not. He's a 9. And that ball drops in for a little bloop. Texas League single in the outfield. Drops right in front of Foster, who misjudged that ball probably a little bit and did not get started as quickly as he should have to be able to catch that. Next up is Wayne Garrett. Let's take a look at Wayne Garrett's hit and run ability. Not good, not a good bunter, so we will swing away with him. Here's the pitch, and 296 against a righty. That's a base hit. And a 15 will send him one base. He will pull up at second base. So the Mets here got a little something going with nobody out. They got 2 men on, bottom of the 6th. And they trail by 2. Here is Millan. Millan is an excellent bunter. He will square, and that's 2 strikes on Millan. That brings Millan down to a 3. He will swing away. He can hit. See what happens, and that's a 12, which will be a hard hit ball too short. Concepcion to Morgan. Morgan back to first in time. Double play, and Matlack moves to third. Holy smokes. Millan did not produce in that situation. Not only that, he really cursed that potential big inning for the Mets. And there's 2 outs now with Matlack at third and Cleon Jones at the plate. Here's the pitch from Kirby, and that's a 65. Oh, that's a deep drive. And he just missed it. I rolled a 10, and he's a 9. Had he been an 11 or a 10, that would be a deep drive to left field. Back goes Rose to the track and hauls it in. Oh my goodness, that was a close one. That was a close one. We go to top of the 7th. Who's leading off? Andy Casco. John Matlack with the pitch, and that is a 42. Hard hit ball to left field. Right there is Jones, L7. Kirby, the pitch. A 21 struck him out. And Petey Rose, he's ready to roll. Here's the pitch. And that's a 64. And that is a pop-up middle infield. Martinez and Millan on the outfield grass, and it's Millan who calls him off and makes the catch. Bottom of the 7th inning stretch. Go get that brewski to the concession before they close it down. Let's all sing, "Take Me Out to the Ballpark." Let's do that. Here's Rusty Staub batting in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Mets trail by 2. It is for Cincinnati, it's 2-4-0. For the Mets, it's 0-3-0. Let's do it. Rusty Staub have not been rolling good at all. 36, that's another out, and that's bounced to short. Concepcion to his right, long throw, and in time. Staub does not run well. Next up is John Milner, the pitch. And 26 against a righty. That's a ground ball up the middle, and that's through in the center field for a base hit single for Milner. Next up is Schneck. Oh boy, Schneck can't hit a lick. What are we going to do? Let him bat. Bottom of the 7th. You know what? I'm going to bring in a pinch hitter. It is going to be the lefty Kranepool. Kranepool's got some power. Let's do that. Bring in Kranepool. Steady Eddie Kranepool from the Bronx. A longtime Met, retires in 79, played with one team in the major leagues, and that was the Mets. All right, let's do it. Eddie Kranepool at the plate here against Kirby. Kirby in this game can go 30 batters, and so far he's gone 23. He's got a long way to go. He's pitching an excellent game, and he's pitched nothing but, I didn't notice that he had so many innings pitched, so he's going to be on his A column now. He moves up, and he will be facing Ed Kranepool here with a runner on first, a tying run at the plate. And here's the pitch, and that is a 14, which will be hit to the first baseman. And he goes to, no, he's not a strong-arm first baseman, is he? Because if he is, that's going to be a double play. He is not. He goes to second for the force, 3-6. And next up is going to be Jerry Grody. We're going to have to look for a new center fielder, but we have Don Hahn. Here is Jerry Grody, the pitch. And that is a 62, strike 3, and that ends the inning. Again, the Mets struggling, trying to find some offense in center field. We'll put Don Hahn. All right, Pete Rose, actually it's Morgan now, against Jon Matlack. And the pitch is going to be a 41. That will be ball 4. Yes, sirree. Another walk for Morgan. Is that his second or his third? I don't know. Here's Johnny Bench, the pitch to Bench. And a 23 struck him out with the curve. Bench way out in front will chase the pitch in the dirt. Tony Perez now steps into the box. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. The Mets trail by 2. Jon Matlack needs to come up with a big pitch. He doesn't want to allow any more runs. Here's the pitch, and a 32 will be a fly ball center field. Don Hahn, couple steps back, and he's got it. 2-away. And next up is Dave Concepcion with a runner on first and 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Matlack, who's tiring slowly but surely, a 34, and that will be a bouncer to the first baseman, Milner, who flips to Matlack, covering to retire the side. All right, for the Mets, leading off here in the bottom of the 8th, Clay Kirby had 7 complete games, and Matlack had 14. So I will push them to the limit. Ted Martinez is ready to roll. He batted .220. Doesn't have a lot of walks either. But, you know, we got what we got. Let me see if we got anybody. Harrelson's there. Boswell, a lefty. I don't know why Boswell isn't playing. We're going to start Boswell. We're going to bring up, call on Boswell as pinch hitter. All right, let's see. Who was this? Yogi Berra was managing the Mets since '74. All right, so Kenny Boswell steps in the box. He bats from the left side on the season. He's batting .088 in 34 at-bats. Hopefully he gets a hit eventually. A 22, and that's going to be a bounce to short up the middle, and Concepcion gets to it, spins, and throws the first in time. 1 away. Jon Matlack now, down 2-0. Tough situation. We're going to go to Ron Hodges, another lefty. So he is out. Hate to do that, but don't have a choice. Ron Hodges steps in the box, another lefty. And Clay Kirby's handling them all. That's a 54. That's going to be a 54 lookup, and that will be a go to Wilder. So that's the next card. And that is a strike 3. Catcher drops the ball, throws the runner out unless he is fast. He is not. We're going to roll. Let me see. Throws runner out at first unless the batter's rating is an F. Then roll the catcher's E rating. Okay, so he is not an F. So it will be catcher. It's a strikeout, basically. And the catcher picks it up, throws it first. So that's 2 down. And here is Wayne Garrett with 2 out. 2-out rally. Let's turn those caps around, boys. Come on now. I want to see that. Turn your cap around right now. Wayne Garrett, he's up. Lefty hitter, pitch. And that is a 22, which will be ball 4. And there's a chance for a stolen base. Do I hold him or do I let him try to run? Why would I let him try to run? I need a home run here, but Mian's not going to give me a home run. Mian may give me a single. And Garrett is not a good runner, and probably got an S on John Bush. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. We are back. And where are we? Let's see. All right, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. Felix Mian, runner on first. We got some movement in the Reds bullpen here at Shea. Beautiful downtown Queens, New York. Yes, sirree. Felix Mian. He's ready. The pitch from Kirby, that's a 14, and that ball is a fly ball. Down the line in right field, Redmond on the run, and Redmond comes up with it for the 3rd out. Yes, sir. We're going to get some changes here for the Mets. Let's see who we got to play third base. And then third base, we will call on Boswell to play third base. And let's see how we do this. So we're gonna get Boswell will play. Garrett will play shortstop, and then Boswell will play third base. And then the new pitcher will be Miller. Had a lot of appearances. We're gonna go with Bob Miller. Yes, sirree. So let's do it real quickly here, and we'll roll for Miller. See what kind of stuff he has. Bob Miller. This game comes with all the players. I'm going to I have a ton of fall classics, but now I'm also getting into a field day, which is like a close cousin. And let's roll for Bob Miller. He will have his average stuff, his middle stuff, middle of the road stuff, his B column. All right, and here is leading off is Rettman. Here's the pitch, and that is a snake eyes, which will be a bouncer to Milner at first. He steps on the bag, one away. I'm tight here, so I can get as much in the camera or on the camera as I can in the picture. Here is George Foster, the pitch, and that is a 32, which will be popped up. That is in foul territory behind the plate, and Grody comes up with it, yes sirree, for the second out. Miller on the season has an 8 ERA. He's really struggled, 21 innings pitched, and wow, a 2.02 whip. He had a 1.6 whip in reality. All right, Costco, here's the pitch, and that is a 23, strike 3, and that ends the inning. So a successful inning for a guy that's really struggled a lot, Bob Miller. All right, so it's going to be the bottom of the ninth. Kirby had 7 complete games, so we're going to stick with Kirby, see if he can get through this. And let me see where he is in terms of batters faced. Kirby can go 30, he's got 29. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'll show you how I do that. Cleon Jones with a 14, and that'll be bounced to second base. Morgan over to first, one away. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Clay Kirby. Rusty Stoblik, Ron Orange, batting .247, 4 home runs. And the pitch, and that is a 44. That is ripped to center. Base hit for Rusty. He's on at first. It's only a 2-0 game here, so the tying run is at the plate in the hammer, John Milner, who's got a ton of power, and he can drive it out of here. So Kirby better proceed with caution. Now, let me see. Kirby is pitching a shutout, so I can really ignore all that information. Now, if he allows 3 consecutive batters, I will move him down 1. I'm much more liberal and tolerant than the game itself, especially when there's a shutout in play. So Milner's at the plate, and here is the pitch. And that is a 62. Strike 3. Got him. Got him with the curve. And next up is Don Hahn. And I did not pull Hahn out. But he is going to bat. Not a great hitter either. But batted .251 and 74, so not that bad. And here's the pitch. There's 2 outs. So the Mets down to the last out. Kirby's going for complete game shutout. 5-hitter. Let's see what happens. And that's a 12. And that 12 will be bounced in front of the plate. And it's Kirby and Bench grabs it, throws to first in time. Ball game is over. Yes, sirree. Clay Kirby pitches a 5-hitter. Shuts out the Mets. He is now 6-3. John Matlack takes the loss, 6-4. What else? The Mets are 25-25. The Reds are 28-21. We'll quickly look at the box score. It's for the Mets really struggled. They only had 5 hits. I don't even know if they had a double. No, 5 singles. That's all they were able to get. Clay Kirby was dominant. And Clay Kirby, in the season, he had a 1.3 whip. Not too bad, a lower 1.3 whip. Not a higher 1.3 whip. But he was untouchable in this game. He was dealing. And Matlack pitched well. 2 earned runs in 8 innings. His ERA is 1.77. 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. And that's all she wrote. So I'm going to send this, and I will post the box score. So thanks for watching. I had a little fun at the beginning, and I hope it was entertaining. Not usually my style, very laid back kind of a style. So I will see you guys soon. Like and subscribe. Hasta la vista.